Hi, I'm Ricky Widmer.
And I'm Johnny Karlic.
And today, we're getting our batons out because we're talking Nightwing here on the Rick and Johnny podcast.
You're still just a psychic to me.
Oh. But Johnny, we got to move on into our next topic, and we are talking DC Extended. Was that you?
Yes.
What were you?
I was going to say Nightwing. I was just going to skip it and say go straight to Nightwing.
I heard the, and I was like, is it Johnny?
Nightwing.
Like, was that Johnny? Okay, one more time.
Yep.
Ready? Okay. But Johnny, we got to move on into our next topic, and we're talking DC Extended Universe for the rest of the podcast, folks, as we've got Nightwing in this segment. Then we're going to jump into the kind of whole thing as a whole kit and caboodle, but we're talking Nightwing because, Johnny, it's official. We are going to get a Nightwing movie for the DC Extended Universe directed by Chris McKay, who just did Lego Batman.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What do you think of this?
Well, you're more of the DC guy than I am, but I'd be excited about a Nightwing movie.
I can't wait. Sign me up.
Getting away from the normal, the what would you say, not an A-lister, but the regular go-to heroes?
The A-listers.
A-listers.
I mean, the Batmans, the Supermans. We're getting Wonder Woman. They're trying Green Lantern, but as a group. I mean, we're getting Cyborg, Flash.
So yeah, we're gonna
get some of the
sidekicks. Not even sidekick.
Robin was a Robin, but he was a sidekick.
But he's not now.
He kind of is Batman's sidekick.
He helps Batman.
Is Batgirl a sidekick?
Yes and no.
The Nightwing's a sidekick.
Yes and no. I'm saying yes and no.
I get that Nightwing goes off on his own and he's like doing his own thing in a separate part of Gotham, but he's still Batman's sidekick.
Okay, you know what? You're the DC guy, and I'll go with
Batman is the leader of the Bat Gang.
Yes, that's completely true.
But I am totally excited.
He's the Spanky of the Little Rascals.
I am totally excited for this movie because it's one of those things where it kind of gets me back into the mode. I know we're not going to see it. I know it's going to be a different actor, but it just brings me back to The Dark Knight Rises when Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, who kind of might have been Dick Grayson, kind of finds the Batcave.
Are you sure?
Finds the Batcave.
Yeah, he does.
And right there, I'm like, holy shit. Holy shit, that's Robin.
You should use your first name.
Holy shit, that's Nightwing. Yeah. That's what it was. You should use your first name.
Robin.
Oh, it's one of those things where I know we're going to get somebody else, but this is a movie where I'm like, yes, let's add someone else into this universe. The only thing I question is Chris McKay as the director. Not saying that Lego Batman doesn't look great because I have not seen it. Mm-hmm. It looks hilarious. It's just one of those things is for a Nightwing movie, are we going to want it to be super comical? And when I see that, it's like, oh, so it's going to be the same kind of mood as Lego Batman?
Well, you got to hope not, just because the fact is Lego Batman, you got to go into this newer...
It's for kids.
Yeah, it's for kids. It's a Lego universe. Now we can pull back and go into a PG-13 possibly type of thing. It's Nightwing. It's just like Batman. There's going to be the violence. There's going to be the other stuff. So... hopefully we dial it into the other realm of it's for kids, kind of. It's also for adults. So hopefully they do it. And as you were pointing out, actor wise, potentially Jared Padalecki.
And he is we're saying his name wrong. He's Sam from Supernatural.
Thank you.
He's interested in the role. And I mean, I look at him and I go,
I can see it.
He kind of looks like Nightwing.
Some of the, I don't know if you were looking into the fan art that's like combining him in the Nightwing suit. It looks pretty good.
I'm looking at his picture on IMDb, and basically if you put him with the haircut, maybe cut the hair a little shorter, put him in the mask, I could see him being Nightwing.
Yeah, honestly, they have some of it with the hair not as long as it is in some of his pictures.
Dye the hair a little blacker. I mean, the hair doesn't have to be super short.
I mean, with the right lighting and the lighting of Gotham, it's going to make it dark enough anyways, probably.
Now, here's the thing, and before I get into the one thing we forgot to say is if you haven't seen Batman v Superman, probably pause, go and watch it if you're really like, oh my God, don't spoil the movie for me. Because I haven't seen it. It's been a while though, so I'm not super like, oh, we shouldn't spoil anything. But if you want, pause it. We'll be waiting for you. When you come back, you can finish the conversation. If you don't care, we're going to get into some spoilers. I had to throw that out there because I forgot, because the one thing we got to look into is, how does he fit into this universe? Is there room for him?
Well, the little bit I know about the DC universe itself and what you've told me over the years is this one is Dick Grayson. He's a grown-up Dick Grayson. He's no longer Robin. And from what we've seen in Batman v Superman, the Joker spray-painted Robin suit that Batman puts in a case, like he does with most stuff he has, is sitting there, potentially leading towards a dead Robin.
It is a dead Robin. And
Robin, I don't know if it really said in the movie he died.
Well,
because it didn't give a lot.
They never said it was they never said, "Oh my God, it was a dead Robin." But the one thing, and this is from comic book, this is from just knowing what has happened. The thing, and this is where I am at, because the exact suit said on it is, "Ha ha ha, joke's on you, Batman," and it is the old costume of Robin.
Yeah.
And that is to me, a direct link to Jason Todd.
Well,
the
yeah,
dead Robin.
not to mention, there's also there's a cartoon or two on it too, where the Joker savagely beats and kills him.
Yeah, that's the Red Hood.
Yeah.
Under the Red Hood. And that's basically why I say dead Robin.
Yeah.
Because Jason Todd comes back and is the Red Hood.
Yeah, thank you, Ra's al Ghul.
The one thing is, from what I am getting together, and even though I didn't like Batman v Superman, it set up the universe to where, based on just that, and they didn't go into it much, based on just that, what I've seen is we are in a time in the DC timeline. We are in the timeline of post Jason Todd, but before we get Tim Drake, or it could be far after Tim Drake. The only thing we know is we are looking at a Batman post Jason Todd.
Yes.
And if we're post Jason Todd, we are post Dick Grayson being Robin. That means at this time, Nightwing is out there.
Yeah.
Nightwing's doing his thing. We've just never came across Nightwing in the extended universe. And to me, this is an interesting thing of where they might have said, hey, you know what? We can throw him in here because of where we are in the timeline. To me, it fits.
Yeah.
It fits perfectly. The only thing I kind of question is how he's going to fit in with the Justice League. Is it going to be one of those things where it's just a standalone Nightwing movie? And we just see, oh, it's Nightwing, but he doesn't fit in. To me, it's one of those things where he fits into the timeline, but how is he going to fit into all the movies together? Or does he have to fit into all the movies together? Could it be just one movie where, oh, and here's what Nightwing's doing? Okay, now back to our featured program.
I think that'd be the better route of going about it, because you want to set more so when you're going with the other DC EU movies, you're going to more so want to probably set up your other characters that you really want to set up for Justice League that's supposed to be coming out. So he's not necessarily part of Justice League unless you know otherwise. Is he?
Yeah, the Justice League, he kind of is. I don't think he's an official member of the Justice League.
Yeah, that's all I'm talking about.
He's
official
kind of
members.
in and out. Yeah,
official members. We're talking Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, et cetera, et cetera. So he's not really, like you said, he's not really an official member of it. So yeah, let's just have a side movie. What I'm really hoping for is another Bat flick. He doesn't have to be in there the whole time.
The Bat flick movie is what you're saying?
No, I'm talking about just a cameo of Batfleck. Just kind of, not that it was a great movie, but Suicide Squad Batfleck scenes.
And that's what I was just going to say, is Nightwing could do the same thing for the DCEU that Suicide Squad did. Because let's be honest, Suicide Squad, none of those villains are going to be in the Justice League. None of those villains are going to be in Wonder Woman.
Exactly.
But we had a movie that was... I get what they were trying to do. Although, from what I've seen, and I know that some people have a different opinion of me, but this is my opinion of Suicide Squad. I hated it. Couldn't stand it. Margot Robbie and Will Smith were the only things I liked in that movie. Jared Leto to me ruined the Joker, even though it's one of those things where I don't know if I want to blame him or the studio.
Yeah,
And
I wasn't a
it's
fan
one
of his twist on it.
And it's one of those things where I understand, though, what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a Guardians of the Galaxy-like fun movie that, at the end, pushed the story. It kicked the can down the road. And that's exactly what it did with Waller meeting with Batman and Batman basically saying, shut it down or else me and my friends are going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Basically saying, shut it down or the Justice League is getting involved. That's what that meant. That kind of kicked the can a little bit further for the Justice League that's what's going to happen. Plus, I believe in that post-credit scene, she handed Batman a ton of files and information that he's probably going to use in Justice League. So yet again, like I said, kick the can down the road. However, I saw the movie as, hey, here's a soundtrack, go ahead and buy it. Oh,
that's what a lot of it was.
Oh, that song that you've heard on Kiss over and over called Immortals, here it is. Oh, remember that 50s rock song that you like? Here it is. It's like, great. I know you're trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit too hard. A little bit too hard. It's kind of like when you've got a parent that's actually a cool parent, and then the parent that's trying to be the cool parent, and it's like, go away. That's what Suicide Squad was. Guardians of the Galaxy is the actual cool parent where you're like, yeah, you know, Johnny's parents, he's cool. They're cool. They're cool people. But Ricky's parents, no way. That's what Suicide Squad was. My parents are great people, so if they're watching, great people. I love you guys. But that's what Nightwing could be.
Yeah.
It could be just 1, 2, here's a story, and at the end, oh, by the way, whoop, we push it down the road.
Yeah,
It extends the greater arc.
Yeah, it's its own movie, and then eventually at the very end, it can push something else that maybe needs a little bit more to it.
Kind of like with Suicide Squad. Guardians of the Galaxy does the same thing for Marvel. Kind of like what Ant-Man did for Marvel. It kind of just put, like, Ant-Man's going to be a bigger role, but at the time, it just pushed.
He's kind of his own movie and pushed a little extra.
Yeah, pushed it down the road.
Yeah.
The one thing, though, that I will say is it's going to be interesting of who they cast.
Yeah.
Because I know we mentioned that Sam from Supernatural, and he wants to be Nightwing, but it's really, to me, it's going to pertain to who they cast as Nightwing. And the one thing I'd want to see in this movie is I'd want to see Batfleck in it. And I'd want to see the interaction between Nightwing and between Batman. Because I know the banter that we had earlier of, oh, Nightwing's a sidekick kind of a thing. But on a more serious note, the thing about Nightwing that always made him cool was, as Robin, it was, Robin do this, Robin do that. And as the sidekick, you're like,
yes, sir.
holy shnikes, Batman kind of a thing. But as Nightwing, there have been times in other cartoons, comics, where Nightwing can actually disagree with Batman.
Yeah, he's no longer
because he's like, whoa, I'm not your sidekick anymore.
Yeah.
I am now not equal footing, but it's like, come on, I'm an adult now kind of a thing.
You can't tell me what to do all the time.
Yeah, and that's what I would kind of want to see. It doesn't have to be the entire movie, but I want to see
small
that
snippet of it.
I want to see the interaction between Nightwing and between Batman.
Yeah,
and how that would be. And to me, this has got so much potential, But it's one of those things where, and I know you mentioned this before we hit the record button. This is the last thing I want to touch on before we move on into the greater DCU as a whole. Is they got to hit the characters.
Yes.
And Jeff Johns has been brought on to make sure that everyone stays pat when it comes to the characters, that they're true to the comics. With a thing like Nightwing, I think you got to stay true to the comic. Don't take so many liberties with him because he's right there for you. He's written right there. I mean, there's so much there in the comics where he was a sidekick of Batman that eventually gets tired of it and then grows up to be his own superhero.
Yeah, he no longer has to be.
You don't no
the
longer
sidekick.
has to be Robin. So I mean, to me, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but this is a movie where I feel like they have to come in and go, no, we have to make sure we are staying right true to the comics.
It's as close as you can, yeah, with a movie.
With the movie, that is. And the thing that's going to be interesting, and I'm going to throw this out there too, is I think they are going to go with, because there's 2 iterations of Nightwing.
Okay.
There's New Earth Nightwing that I think we will get. That's the traditional one everyone knows. The black mask, the blue Nightwing across the chest that goes down, and then the 2 sticks.
Batons.
However, there is also the primed Earth, because in the comics from 85 to 2011, we have New Earth. Then there's Prime Earth.
Okay.
Nightwing, where it's basically instead of blue and black, it's red and black.
Okay.
I think we would see the blue and black. I don't think they would go with Prime Earth. I think they would go more of a New Earth. But hey, who knows what they're going to do? Because right now, I will tell you this: I am not too confident with the DCU. But we're going to move. Actually, let's take this on into our greater discussion. Before we do that, anything about Nightwing that we mentioned, you guys let us know down below. What are your impressions of it? How do you think he fits in? Do you agree with us? Do you don't agree with us? You could be saying, fuck this guy. He doesn't fit in to this universe at all. Why are we getting a Nightwing movie? You could be on that side of the fence, and I would love to hear it down below in the comment section.
I don't know about this, Rick.
Just do it, Morty.
Thank you for watching Most Valuable Podcast video. If you want to watch more of them, just watch them right here. And thank you for watching.